welcome back to the channel. So continuing in the Porkchop build, so far we've done the 5-inch Journeys Off-Road lift kit and the 4x4 conversion kit from Journeys Off-Road as well. But today we're going to start focusing on some cosmetic stuff, and I'm going to end up peeling this cladding, and I think this is going to get a Raptor liner, but I don't know if I'm going to make that happen this year or not. So in the meantime, I do want to dress it up a little bit. So the plan is to go ahead and paint this cladding with some just Rust-Oleum rattle can truck bed coating. Alright, so the product I'm going to use is this Rust-Oleum truck bed coating. It's black. It's got a little bit more of a gloss than I would probably prefer, but I think that'll sort of wear off, hopefully. This is just available at Lowe's, Home Depot, home centers, that kind of stuff. It was 11 bucks a can, and I've never used this stuff before, so we're just going to kind of try it out and see what happens. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to shoot it into the wheel wells and sort of get a look at it, what it's going to look like before I actually hit the cladding. So I just shot some into the wheel wells, and I think it's going to be the look I'm going for. I think now we're ready to go. We got to go on to prep, so what we got to do is just wash everything down first before we start sanding. And I'm not going to get too crazy with this because we're going to sand it all anyway. I just want to break off some of the bigger chunks. Alright, so we pretty much are ready to start sanding. I'm just going to use my DeWalt 5-inch palm sander, and I'm going to hit it at 120. And the nice thing about doing a rhino lining or any sort of textured like truck bed coating like we're doing is you don't really have to be too specific with your sanding because we're not looking for a smooth glass finish here. I did go ahead and just pull the grill and the front clip off of there, just get it out of the way, because I also had another piece of cladding that I wanted to replace because the other one was broken. Alright, we're done sanding. I went ahead and grabbed a wet cloth and sort of wiped off all the sanding dust. Got her cleaned up pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and go around now with some odorless mineral spirits. You can use isopropyl alcohol, whatever. This is what I have, and this is what works for me. So we'll get it wiped down, and then we'll move on to primer. Alright, we're going to go ahead and begin taping everything off. I'm going to use this frog tape to tape along the cladding. And then I have some paper and some other tape that will kind of... Alright, we are all prepped and ready to spray. We're going to lay down a couple of healthy coats of this primer. This is just Rust-Oleum automotive primer. There are plastic primers and all kinds of weird stuff. In a former life, I shot a lot of spray paint, and honestly, this is the best stuff for all applications in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot a couple of coats of this, and we'll sand in between, and we'll keep going. Also, to spray, I have one of these adapters. So if you have a male can, you can actually get on like graffiti websites and find these little adapters that slide over here, and then you can buy different size tips that do all kinds of different things. So this is actually it's called a New York thin. It's also called a Lego cap. This shoots a really good circle, and it's a lot better than those crappy white stock tips that come on it that just kind of spray it everywhere. You have a lot more control with one of these. Put the primer on. I decided not to sand in between them because I don't care if it has the texture. I'm doing the truck bed coating anyway. It's a little breezy out here. It's not great spray conditions, but I'm going to try to get this truck bed liner on. Well, there you have it. So that was about 6 coats of the truck bed undercoating. Definitely not as much texture as I was looking for. Granted, I know outside of anything but a Rhino or a Line-X or a Raptor lining, you're not going to get that real thick, bristly texture. But it definitely has some texture to it, and it doesn't just look like paint, which is kind of what I'm looking for. And definitely seems like it's going to be pretty durable and resistant. So I'll go ahead and put the totals on the screen right here for how much this whole project cost me. And I started on this thing earlier today, so it's been about 5 hours to put this whole thing together. So I'm pretty happy with it, and it's really added to the customization of the vehicle. So if this is something you're into, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I'm going to have build videos coming out on this all summer long. I think that's going to do it for this one, so see you on the trail.